One of the things that's great about Doug, besides I think his just immense gifting, I think the guy is incredibly gifted, but besides that, he can laugh at himself. One of the most positive things I can think about Doug Wilson is that he does not take himself seriously.
That's right.
He doesn't. So like when people are criticizing him, it's like his stamina, his endurance to take criticism is remarkable. And like I remember having breakfast with him and asking him, like, how do you endure so much criticism? Because I was going through it with my elders, like COVID had it hit and we were disagreeing and, and there was just sharp dispute, Paul and Barnabas. And I just had a rough previous year with the congregation. We had lost like a quarter to a third of our congregation because multiple things, but as it pertained to me, I wasn't responsible for all of it. There were some other things going on, but my responsibility would be, I taught through 1 Timothy and instead of kind of just pushing forward, I slowed down and spent like several weeks just on 1 Timothy chapter 2, verses 9 through 15. Women will be saved through childbearing. Right? I do not permit a woman to teach, and it was new for our church because my theology was changing in that, and from the soft kind of squishy, complementarianism to a biblical view of patriarchy and this idea that it's the roles that God gives to men and women aren't arbitrary. It's not like a woman says to a man, anything you can do, I can do better. I can do anything better than you, but I'm not called. No, it's like, no, you're not called because you can't do it. Right? It's like God doesn't arbitrarily assign, the role of flight to birds and the role of swimming to fish. It also has something to do with the way he designed them, that birds have wings and fish have gills, and so basically like this, this broader complementarian, like all the way to like military. And so it was offensive for some of our people because we were in San Diego, had a lot of military people, had a lot of women in the military, and I was making some strong statements about women in roles in the military and even beyond just combat, and so all that was, it was a reformation for our church. And so we lost people out of the church. And then COVID hit, so right after like things being shaky. And so I sat down with Doug, we were having breakfast. I was telling him some of these things. I was like, how do you do it? Because I'm whining about, I have like 2 knives sticking out of my back and like your back is just like just hamburger meat, like it's just one big scab from, the thousands of knives. And for guys who don't know some of the story, like Doug lost, like there was early on, he lost every single elder he had. They all left him. Over the course of 2 years, because he was reforming his theology and they were like, no, we're not we're not coming with you. We're not coming with you. And I can't imagine like some of the pain in that. And that's just one story, there's hundreds, thousands. So anyways, how do you handle criticism? How do you do it? And I remember he looked at me and his answer was, I just have to remind myself that I'm just not a big deal. By not taking myself seriously. It is okay for people to disagree with me. And it's not just okay because I'm wrong. Because that's one thing, right? If you can be okay with someone criticizing you when you're aware that you're wrong, fine. But the reason why all of us hate criticism so much and we get angry and we get restless, I've got to say something, I've got to set the record straight, is because we don't think we're wrong. Someone is criticizing us, and what are we thinking? We're thinking, well, if only everybody knew the actual story, the real truth, and I need to do this, and I need to set the record straight, and I need to,
it's frustrating, right?
And so what is part of what has made him so remarkable to me, that I'm so impressed with his character, not just his gifting, but his character, is that like 9 times out of 10, the person who's criticizing him is wrong, and Doug's right, and he knows he's right. And he can laugh. He literally, well, not just like he doesn't let it bother him. He'll laugh about it. Like him and Nancy will make a joke or a newspaper article, and Doug will cut it out, and put it on the fridge. And him and Nancy, when they walk by, will laugh, at the article, and I'm just like, dude, that's freedom. That is a level of freedom that I need if I'm going to make it in ministry, if I'm going to make it as a Christian man. So that's something I would brag on, Doug, something positive. I hope you enjoyed this video. If so, would you consider supporting this ministry by giving a donation of any amount? You can do so by going to our website, rightresponseministries.com. Let's be frank. Sadly, many evangelical pastors and leaders are serving as nothing more than water carriers for the political left. Just as those in the political left hate you, Just like those corporations that are left-leaning hate you, these pastors and evangelical leaders hate you. I know that's a strong statement to make. I'm aware of that, but it's true. They don't care about your personal liberty. They don't care about your freedom. They want you to love your neighbor at the expense of biblical truth, even if it means bearing false witness. That's not us. We're different. We're not the only ones. I don't want to be arrogant. God has reserved a remnant for himself in this time, as he has all other ages and all other places, but they are few and far between. It's called a remnant for a reason. We need your help. We want to stand up to tyranny. We want to stand up to this new left totalitarian regime. We want to defend Christians and people, the salt of the earth, who love America and who love God's word. But we can't do it without your help. If you're not prepared or able to give a financial gift, one way that you can support this ministry is by simply subscribing to our YouTube channel and clicking the bell so that you'll be notified as we come out with new content. You can also help us by sharing our content on all your social media platforms so that more people can hear the truth of God's word with courage and fidelity. Thanks for tuning in. God bless.